Good morning, students. Generally, lakes and ponds are divided into three zones: the littoral zone, the limnatic zone, and profundal zone. Based on availability of light, different kinds of organisms are found in these zones. Littoral zone is the zone near to shore. This is the topmost muddy and warmest zone. Plants like mosses, water lily, Vallisneria, hydrilla and several types of algae live in this zone. High photosynthetic activity occurs due to the availability of large amount of sunlight. This zone is a home for animals like snails, insects and fishes. These have well developed sight with greyish bodies and are fast swimmers. This zone is home for predators of this zone are tortoise, snakes and ducks. The limnatic zone is open water zone and receive a good deal of light. Floating plants like water hyacinths, pistia along with variety of algae stay here. Photosynthetic activity is high in this zone. In this zone, a variety of freshwater fish stay. With bright shiny greyish scales that help them to merge with surroundings. Transparent body crustaceans like Daphnia, Cyclops found in this zone. The profundal zone is dimly light and cold. Heterotrophs are found in this zone. Most of the bottom dwellers are scavengers and predators in this zone. Crabs, fishes like eels, snakes, turtles are found in this zone. They adapt themselves by feeding on dead animals. Many kinds of bacteria like detritus stay here that help in decomposing the dead. As bottom is covered with dead and decaying matter, the bottom dwellers rely mostly on smell and auditory senses rather than vision to acquire food. In summer, to escape from heat surface, organisms that lie in littoral zone migrate to deeper layers and at night they come back again to their home zone. Ducks, cranes also reside near lakes and ponds. Ducks have webbed feet to swim easily in water. Cranes have long legs and beaks to stand in water by without wetting their feathers and catch fish easily. Freshwater fish have a higher internal salt content than rather medium and they tend to float because osmosis leads to excess water entering into the body through the permeable membranes in the mouth and gills. The water can be excreted in the form of urine, but to maintain suitable salt balance, freshwater fish need to reabsorb salt through the kidneys and collect additional salts through salt collecting cells in the gills. It is the ability to regulate this salt absorption that determines the tolerance of a freshwater fish for saline water. In lakes and ponds, submerged plants have number of air spaces inside the stems, leaves, roots and aid in gaseous exchange and buoyancy. Leaf bases of water hyacinth form air-filled structures to keep them float. In water lilies, leaves are flat, have an oily surface with stomata present on upper surface of the leaf. In hydrilla, stomata are absent, leaves are thin, stems are flexible. The main adaptation that give hydrilla an advantage over other native plants are can grow at low light intensities, it is better at absorbing CO2 from water, is able to store nutrients for later use, can tolerate a wide range of water quality conditions like salinity and can propagate sexually and asexually. Students, as a continuation of content perfection, you have questions on hydrilla in 10th class in a lab activity. So you remember this well. Okay, students, thank you.